let's come on to our beautiful mats. Have your mat lined up with a blanket or something warm or soft, whatever you want to sit on. And then sitting on your folded mat or folded cushion. And then let's bring folding our ring, little finger and thumb, so that we have our peace fingers extended, so they look like an upside down V, and have your hands face down on your knees, so that your peace fingers, your index and middle finger, are pointing down towards the earth, or you can have them directly touching the earth. So on your knees or directly touching the earth. This is called Vu Mudra. Vu means earth. This is the earth gesture. The peace fingers are connected with the earth below. Ground down through your sit bones. Feel the connection with your outer edges of your feet, your ankles, your lower legs, your thighs, your sit bones, your lower body that's connected with the earth. Feel the connection with your hands and either your knees or the earth directly. Lower your shoulders. Close your eyes or take your gaze down towards the earth, softening your gaze. Our practice today is restore our earth. It's Earth Day on 22nd of April, a day of community education and action to raise awareness, to bring into the collective conscious awareness the calling of the earth for restoration. So we'll be working today with the element of earth. And in TCM, the meridians that the element of earth is connected with is the spleen and pancreas meridian and the stomach meridian. These two meridians and these organs are connected with transportation of energy, of nutrition, the digestion and the assimilation of what we absorb into the body, and then the transformation of that into nourishment, replenishing for the body. And so this physiological process of digestion, assimilation, transformation, the absorption of what is useful, what is good, what is needed. This is reflected in our energetic bodies. So the emotions and feelings that we absorb, digest, assimilate, the concepts, ideas, the thoughts that we absorb, digest, assimilate, transform, and then take from them what is useful, what educates us, keeps us informed, and the same of experiences. So we'll be drawing on this life force energy, chi or pran as it is known, to help ripen, nourish, nurture, and then transform through learning, through education, through absorption, through assimilation. One full breath here. And as you draw the breath in, connect the breath with the root the Muladhara chakra at the very root of your spine, grounding here into the earth. Our mantra is Om Bhu Swaha. Om Bhu Swaha. I give offerings to the earth. Bhu means earth. Swaha means offerings. Om is the primordial vibration of the universe itself within which the earth sits, of which we are a part, of which the earth is a part. Om Bhu Swaha. I am part of the earth, part of the universe. I honor, nurture, support the earth. I am grateful to the earth. Inhale, bring both hands to your heart center in Namaskar. We'll open by chanting Om 3 times and offer the Oms, an offering to the earth, an offering to our sense of responsibility for the earth, and an gratitude for the gifts of the earth to us in return. Inhale fully. Om. 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 Hands to your eyebrow center. Namaste. Assalamu alaikum. Sat Sri Akal, and welcome, yogis. Thank you for joining me for our restorative practice of yin today. So we're focusing on Earth Day and really focusing on restoring our earth and thinking about how, through the symbolism of our practice in restoring, replenishing ourselves, we can also seek to restore, replenish the earth, which has become so depleted through human action. And so thinking about today in your practice, how you can be grounded in your practice, how your practice of yin yoga sustains your energy, how it nourishes and replenishes your energy, and then how you can use that energy to support the efforts, the global efforts to restore our earth, so that we can show conscious care, collective care, individual care for the earth. So our first pose, our first asana is going to be child's pose. So this is where it's really lovely to have your blanket underneath you. You might want to have something you can rest your eyebrow center on. So placing your cushion or your pillow or a folded blanket in front of you. Fold this left leg behind you. And so let's have the big toes touching, our knees wide here. Lengthen through the crown. And then as you exhale, let's fold forward and bring our eyebrow center directly to the earth or to our support. Ground down through your sit bones and your feet. For your hands, again, you can come into your Bhu Mudra, which is your peace fingers extended in a V, other fingers and thumb folded in. And so extend your arms and place the tips of your peace fingers on the earth ahead of you. And then soften into the earth here. Allow the weight of your hips and pelvis to connect with the earth. Sense that connection between your fingertips and the earth, your eyebrow center and the earth. Soften here. Thinking about how the chi, the energy is flowing through your channels of your body. The stomach meridian and the spleen meridian run along the length of our bodies. The stomach meridian runs along the front of our legs, the spleen on the inside of our legs. So we'll be focusing a lot on what's happening with our legs. So in this moment, feeling grounded, centering, earthing yourself here. One more breath here. And I'm going to invite you, so if you have a blanket or a cushion or a pillow in front of you, bend into your elbows and place your elbows on your folded blanket. And then with your Bhu Mudra, reach behind with your peace fingers and touch your shoulders or shoulder blades. Your eyebrow center still resting on the cushion or folded blanket. If you don't have your a blanket there, your elbows are on the earth, then reach behind your shoulders, bending into your elbows on the earth, your Bhu Mudra, your peace fingers, reaching over the shoulders towards your shoulder blades perhaps. So the stomach is also, the stomach meridian does run through the full length of the body. The abdomen. So notice how here in this pose, you're creating a circuit by connecting your peace fingers with your shoulders or your shoulder blades. Your big toes connected with the earth. The prana, the chi energy is flowing in a circuit. This energy that rotates in a circle, that cycles around, mirroring the carbon cycle, mirroring the cycles of nature. What happens in the ecosystems. One more breath here. Inhale, lift your gaze, release your hands, and walk your hands back towards your body. And I'm going to invite you to come to sit on your sit bones and bring the soles of your feet together in butterfly, Baddha Konasana. And what I'd like you to do here is take your fingers and just pull gently on each toe or gently rub each toe and massage your feet here. Thinking about here as you massage the sole of your foot, your footprint on the earth, your ecological footprint on the earth. What is your individual actions that you take to reduce your carbon footprint? Sometimes it might feel a little frustrating to think that on an individual level we can't do enough. We won't be enough. Every small step counts. Now I'm going to ask you to find a point that's about 4 fingers from your ankle on the inside of your leg here. So if you line up your 4 fingers from the ankle and then feel along the shin bone here, on the inside of the shin bone, there will be a place, so you can also press with your fingers. You'll find a place, I found it. So mine's a little bit more than 4 fingers. Mine's mine's more than 5 or 6 fingers there. I'm not that many in my hand. Mine is just there. So you can see it's sort of, well, length of my index finger and a bit more. I have a soft space here. This is spleen 6, and you'll have the same on both sides. So you can also find it by drawing your finger along the inside of your shin from the ankle, and then you'll find a place where it feels quite tender. So I found the place on both of my lower legs here. And here, with your thumbs, apply some gentle pressure. It's going to feel quite tender. It might be very sensitive for you. If you can't feel much here, perhaps try to go up or down a little bit, and it will feel soft. There's almost like an indentation there. This is San Jin Jiao. Spleens, you can really feel it. So we're going to hold here for 30 seconds to a minute and gradually apply more firm pressure, but you don't want to leave a mark here. So just increase that gentle pressure. By connecting with the spleen energy, we are invoking sympathy, a sense of connection and care for others and with others, the connection with others and care for others. This also allows us to receive, to be open, to welcome new ideas, new experiences, so that we can begin to assimilate those concepts that we've come across. So let's release that, and you might just want to gently rub that area here. And then maybe just massage your ankles a little bit and back to your feet to reconnect. We're not going to tap along all our meridians today. We're just going to, and also I really feel it in my lower back, just pressing that point so I can feel this experience higher up in my body. From here, we're going to come back in onto our knees, and we're going to come into melting heart pose here, Anahatasana. So again, your knees can be padded on something. You may have your pillows, your cushions, your bolsters, whatever you have available to you. So let's start by placing our forearms on our pillows or bolsters. Again, what you could do with your hands is you can connect your fingertips to the earth. Remember here, we're lifting up slightly our tailbone. Gently dipping our back. Again, connect through the tops of your feet here, through your shins. Your forearms can be on your bolster. So this makes it a little bit more gentle and accessible. Or you can be directly on the earth with your thumb. And gradually we're going to extend our arms away from us. Remember here to adapt this for your shoulders and your back by folding one arm and extending one arm. And then I'll let you know when we're about halfway, and then you can fold in both arms and then extend the opposite arm. So we take a few breaths here, connecting with sympathy, empathy, compassion, this connection and care with and for others. So we talk about sympathy and empathy, and these are kind of the two sides of a coin. Sometimes we need to offer sympathy, especially for those who are depleted, from whom much has been taken, where there has been loss. So the sympathy we're offering here is to Mother Earth, understanding that we have taken more than our fair share from nature, from the earth. Let's slide your hands away, folding one arm if you wish to have a less intense experience of melting heart. Your hands can be in your Bhu Mudra. Om Bhu Swaha. I offer compassion, empathy, connection and care. So here we're really extending along the abdomen and the arms, because the stomach meridian is a full length, full body meridian. So chi, or energy, pran, it comes from the air that we breathe, the food that we eat, and the environment from which we consume. And so we are taking from our environment. What are we offering up in return with that transformed energy? How are we gifting that energy back into the earth? If you have one arm extended, please fold it and extend the opposite arm in Anahatasana, melting heart pose. Your eyebrow center can be on a pillow, on a cushion. You can have a bolster underneath your heart space or underneath your arm. Remember to lessen the dip in your lower back. Here we want the heart space melting towards the earth, represented either by our bolster or cushion or directly with the earth. This is our heart connection with the earth. Allowing an exchange of energy from our heart space with the energy of the earth. Reconnecting with the earth here. Caring for the earth here. Three more breaths in melting heart. And lifting your gaze. And let's either fold your arms in and then bring your elbows, walking them back underneath your shoulders if they were much further ahead. We're going to come into Sphinx pose from here. So let's check how much space you have behind you so that you can extend your legs, and you might need to rearrange things so that you have lots of space behind you. And then let's walk our knees away and bring our abdomen, our hips and pelvis onto the earth. Untuck your toes so that your toes are connected with the earth. Now here, depending on how your lower back is feeling, you might want to have your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. You might want to walk them a little bit forward and out. So depending on where you want, you can also come into Makrasana, where you take your elbows out and place your hands on top of each other, and then lower your upper body. Perhaps you even bring your eyebrows center to the earth. So Makrasana, crocodile pose, is the most generous to our lower back. Elbows directly underneath our shoulders is the least generous to our lower back. And again, your hands can be in your Bhu Mudra, or you can spread your fingers wide. Connect through the abdomen, the hips and pelvis with the earth. Lift your crown. Draw your shoulders and shoulder blades away. We're going to go through various stages of this. So I won't invite you to lower your head onto a block or bolster for today, because we're going to move with this. Coming into Sphinx or Salambar Bhujangasana. Helps us to feel connected through the full length of our body with the earth. So the meridians, especially the stomach meridians, are being stimulated here. When we are out of balance with the earth element, we can worry too much. We can have obsessive tendencies or obsessive thinking. And this disturbs our energy flow because we're using up a lot of the prana, the chi, the energy in worrying, in obsessive thinking. We're draining ourselves, depleting ourselves. So thinking about how we drain not only ourselves of energy through our own overly active minds, our repetitive thinking, the cyclical thinking that we habitually get into. So we're absorbing, assimilating, but not completely digesting. So digestion means we let go of what doesn't serve us, and we hang on to what we need, that which meets our needs and keeps us healthy. So in this way, when we think about the earth, what are the practices, the habits, the actions that we all take that we can let go of, which are not serving the earth? Now, from Sphinx or Makrasana, I'm going to invite you to bend into your knees and lift your toes up towards the sky. So this will add more of a stretch to the inner, out the fronts of your thighs, the quads. This is where we're really activating the stomach meridian. If you imagine that there's a block between your knees, here you can also then begin to activate the spleen meridian, which runs along the inside of your legs. If you find that you're getting tired here, remember you can take your elbows out to the side and bring your eyebrow center to the earth and come into Makrasana. Another option here for you, if you wish to explore, is to take your arms further away, open out your hands as wide as your mat to come into a variation of seal. So you have an option to either ease back or move further towards an edge. Yogi's choice here. And at any point you can lower your legs to the earth. We'll be here for another minute or so. So remember to always recognize your edge, ease back from the edge. If you find that your edge becomes, and remember, the longer we're in a pose, the more we're gradually creeping towards that edge. Turn back. When earth element is out of balance, Prithvi, the element of earth, is called Prithvi. When it is out of balance, we may be more likely to neglect needs. We are more likely to cling on or be possessive over things, ideas, objects, thoughts. So we neglect our needs and instead we focus on things that are not meeting our needs. So we sort of become distracted and get caught up and drawn into something else into which we get stuck. So working with the earth element today, we can change track. This is an opportunity for us to change track. Let's release the toes and feet down towards the earth. Everybody come into Makrasana, take your elbows out, eyebrow center to the earth. And here, let's just shake our hips. Maybe we roll on the fronts of our legs from side to side. So it could be a whole body roll from side to side, very gentle. And then let's rest for a moment here. Soften through all of your body here. Just allow that sense of like relaxation to come into each and every joint of your body, every bone of your body, every muscle. Om Bhu Swaha, I offer the earth my presence. In this moment, when I trust the earth and relax onto the earth, I'm trusting and offering the earth a true connection, being present with the sensation of the earth below me. One more breath here. So let's come into different variations. So we'll come off from the earth and then we'll come back down to the earth for the remainder of our practice. So hands underneath your shoulders and then rise up into table. Now, keep your right knee as it is and then sit back on your right knee and step forward. So step forward with your left foot and then sit on the earth. So I'm going to show you. I want to move this because you can see, so you can see me. I'm wearing, I don't know why I'm wearing grey and sitting on a grey blanket. So from table, keeping your right knee where it is, we sit back onto the earth and we have that bend in that left knee. Now see how this feels for your knee, because this is a variation of saddle. Or actually, this is a variation of Vajrasana, Hero's Pose. If your knee does not feel comfortable here, then I invite you to release your knee and hug it in really, really tight. And keep that left leg where it is. If your knee is okay here, remember padding underneath the inside of the ankle, underneath your knee can feel really comforting. So this is a variation of Virasana Hero Pose. You can keep your hands on the earth here. You can come into your Bhumudra. So this is where you feel a really deep extension here, all the way along the front of your leg. We're working through the natural processes. So as we absorb energy, we process through, we assimilate, digest. What we want to do, and the reason we take in prana and chi while we absorb that energy, so I'm just using alternative words here for the same concept, this life force energy, is we need it to strengthen us. So as part of the healing of the earth, restoring our earth and healing our earth, we want to strengthen. So we want to take in nutrition. We want to absorb in the energy because that will strengthen us. And through our strength, we can then become good stewards of the earth. We can use that strength to take action. So you're probably beginning to feel it in this left leg now. So let's swap legs for a moment. So come up onto your hands, onto that right knee, bring the left knee down, and let's just stretch out that right leg long just to release it. Tuck that foot. Step forward with that right foot. And let's come on to sitting with our sit bones, not on our leg necessarily, on the earth next to it. Our left leg is folded, our right foot is on the earth, knee bent, so we're on the other side now. Just do what you need to do. Remember, if you're not folding that leg underneath you, you're going to hug it in really tight. You can have your arms hugging that leg really tight. So even just this connection with our body, our hands on our shins, we're stimulating and activating the meridian. So thinking about what it is that is going to help us reach optimal health, but also the earth to have health. How can our earth be a healthy earth? What is it we need to restore our earth around? What are the things that are depleting the earth? So climate change, environmental degradation, a global economy that exploits our natural resources. We see this dis-ease or lack of health in our earth through the increasing rates of natural disasters in lands that previously were unaffected or where it was less noticeable. We see it in how diseases spread around the earth. One more breath here. And again, I'm going to invite us to rise up slowly. Bring our hands forward. Come onto our right knee and then step that left leg back. Can that foot stretch out through that left leg to allow the chi, the prana, the energy to flow freely. Now let's bring our knees back. I'm going to move us into dragon pose here. So again, this is where you might need some padding, and I'm certainly going to pad my knees here because I would love some padding. So we're on our knees. Let's step forward with our left foot. Keep our right knee on the earth. Rise up here a little bit. And begin to drop into this left hip. Our hands can be on our left knee here. Or you can come into your Bu Mudra and have your fingertips on the earth. Now, yogi's choice where you are. Your peace fingers are on the earth, lightly touching them. So don't drop your weight into there, just lightly touching the earth. Or you can have your hands resting on your left thigh. So high flying dragon for the moment. How can we restore our earth? Well, we can restore our earth through restoring ourselves and thinking about what do we need in order to feel restored, replenished, nourished, nurtured. And how can we connect our energy with the energy of the earth? So do we need to educate ourselves about the climate? Is there something we can do to share knowledge with others? Not through a way that alienates people, but through a way that informs them, encourages them to be curious, so that they become good stewards of the earth. One more breath here in dragon, wherever you are. So now we're going to bring our hands to the inside of our left foot. So shuffle that left foot out and bring your hands directly to the earth on the inside of your left foot. Turn your left toes out slightly so that your knee and your toes are turned out. Now you can really feel this on your right leg, especially around the hip flexors. You can stay on your hands. You can have your bolster here, your large pillows, whatever you need. Use this one there today. And you can come down onto your forearms. Or you can stay on your hands. Yogi's choice. You can come directly to the earth. So your variation of low flying dragon. So here what we're doing is we're connecting the elemental energy of the earth with the elemental energy of fire. And the reason we're drawing the magnetic energy of the earth together with this current of energy around the fire is that because fire is what drives us to act, to transform. It's the energy we get from the core. So the food that we consume turns into this combustible energy, this firepower, this transformative energy, and that's how we can affect change. So thinking about our civic responsibilities, how can we engage others? What is our collective responsibility and our collective accountability? And then what can we do about it? What can we do about food sustainability, for example, and food poverty? These two go hand in hand. So we have food hunger and food poverty on one hand, and then we have the exploitation, agricultural and environmental degradation through over farming, through industrial farming on the other hand. One more breath here, everybody. Let's come out of low flying dragon by coming up onto your hands. Take your sit bones back and just stretch out through this left leg. Flex the foot so that you can just release the energy here. Step back with your left knee. Step forward with your right foot. And come into high dragon on this side. Hands can be on your right knee. Drop into that right hip. Left knee's on the earth. Or you can bring your peace fingers in your Bhu Mudra. So your ring, little finger, thumb folded in. Looks like a V, victory sign, but down towards the earth. So when we have this mudra, what we're doing is index and the middle finger represent air and ether. Akash, space, ether, and Vayu, air. And these energies can, we're trying to ground these energies so that we can draw their energy into the earth's energy. Because what we're trying to do with our practice today is heal the earth. You can see I care a lot about the earth. I have so much to say. I'll let you have some silence with it. When you're ready, we're going to come into low flying dragon. So bring your right hand to the inside of your right foot. Shuffle that right foot out. Hands on the earth or forearms on the earth. Remember to turn your foot out and have your knee pointing in the same direction as your toes so that you give yourself a bit more space here. Three more breaths here in low flying dragon on the right side. And then inhale to come up onto your hands. And then let's step the right knee back. Take a moment here. Oh, sorry, let's keep that right foot forward and then come back with our hips and flex that foot up. So this Ardha Hanumanasana pose, just to release the back of that right knee, sorry. And then step back with the right knee. Swing your hips around. And then let's come directly onto the earth here. Slide your sit bones away and come directly onto the earth. And hug in your knees here. And gently roll from side to side on your lower back. Appanasana. Appanasana, this wind relieving pose, part of the stomach spleen meridian cycle, part of the process of the digestive system. So a pose that's deeply connected to the element of earth, Prithvi. Now keeping your knees hugged in as close as you can, we're going to gently take our arms out and gently release our knees over to the left. You can bring your knees directly to the earth, or you can bring them onto a cushion or a pillow or your bolster. Keep that right shoulder down towards the earth. The left hand can come to the outside of the right knee, the top knee here. Your right arm can stay alongside your body, or you can take your right arm up and over. So reach overhead with your right arm. A supine twist, Supta Matsyendrasana, either supported with something underneath your knees, or your legs are directly connected with the earth on the left side here. Restoring our earth is not an option, it's a necessity. Restoring the natural rhythms and processes of the earth, the ecosystems, is not an option, it's a necessity. Restoring the health and survival of the earth is not an option, it's a necessity. Om Bhu Swaha. Om Bhu Swaha. I am committed to honoring the earth. I work towards restoring the health, the vitality of the earth. I heal both myself and the earth. I restore myself and the earth. One more breath here. If your arm is reaching overhead, bring your right arm down. Engage your core. And as you inhale, gently lift your knees back to center. Hug in both knees. For a moment, stretch out the left foot up towards the sky. Flex the foot. And then return that left leg towards you and reach up with the right leg. Flex the foot. Hug both knees in again, and now we're going to gently release the knees over to the right. So either bringing your knees onto your bolster or cushion or to the earth, keeping this left shoulder anchored into the earth. Right hand to the left knee, left arm can stay alongside you or reach overhead. Om Bhu Swaha. Om Bhu Swaha. Om Bhu Swaha. I am grateful to the earth's gifts. I care for the earth. I am responsible and accountable for my actions. I seek health and balance for both myself and the earth. One more breath here. And then inhale. Lower the left arm back alongside your body. Engage your core and hug your knees back into center. Inhale to reach both legs up towards the sky. Flex at the feet. Legs up in the air here. And then hug them in. Gently roll from side to side on your lower back. And extend your legs long. You have options here for your Shavasana now. So your legs can be extended long. You can place a bolster underneath your knees. You can have your legs bent, your feet as wide as the mat, and your knees knocked together. Your hands can be resting alongside your body, or you can have your left hand on your heart, right hand on your abdomen. Yogi's choice. Prepare yourself for your Shavasana. Cover your eyes with an eye pillow or a scarf. Cover your body with a blanket, put on your socks. Set your timer for 5 minutes. And continue your practice for at least another 5 minutes. I shall say Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti to you here in your Shavasana.